All right, guys, it's math for today, week 2 time. Let's take this one day at a time. Day 1, round 3 and 47 thousandths to the nearest hundredth. So I'm going to rewrite this number. Hundredths is right here. I need to go next door. 5 or more tells me to make this number bigger. 4 or less, I leave it alone. 7 is more than 5. So I'm going to make this number bigger. I'm going to rewrite everything in front just like it is. The 4 is going to become a 0, and I no longer need the 7. The area of a rectangular roof on a doghouse is 756 square inches. The length of the roof is 108 inches. How many inches wide is the roof? All right, so area is length times width. We know the length is 108. We don't know the width. We know that the product of those two numbers is going to be 756. So I'm actually going to come off to the side. That's a big division problem to have to figure out. So I'm going to figure out how many groups of 108 does it take to get to 756. So I'm going to start with 108. I'm going to add another 108 to it. Not there yet, but that was one group. This would be two groups. If I add two more groups, I'm still not there yet. So this was two groups and this is four groups. So let's add two more groups. So four, two more groups, this is six. I'm almost there. So let's slow down and add just one group at a time. Seven hundred 756. It took me 7 groups. So the width is 7 inches. Okay, 4/5 minus 1/4 equals, again, we did this last time. I reminded you that we are not doing fractions right now in 5th grade, but we're going to get there. So when you see something like this on the quiz for math for today, it is graded. It's going to tell you whether or not you got it right or wrong, but you are not going to lose points. So we have to find a common denominator. We have to find something these numbers have in common. So I'm going to start with the 5. They do not have 5 in common. I cannot say 4 times something will give me 5. So I'm going to count by 5s, 5 and then 10. 10 is not part of a 4 skip count. So I'm going to say 5, 10, 15. Nothing times 4 is going to give me 15. So then I say 5, 10, 15, 20. Well, 4 times 5 will give me 20. So I can change both of those denominators to 20. 5 times 4 is 20. So I have to multiply this 4 by 4. And 4 times 4 is 16. 4 times 5 is 20. So now I need to multiply this number by 5. And now I can subtract. The 20 stays the same. 16 minus 5 is 11, and the answer is 11/20. Next, I need to write 36 thousandths in standard form. Well, this little thing right here tells me decimal, but I don't see an and, so I know that there is no whole number. Thousandths, tenths, hundredths, thousandths, and there's 36 of them. So here's the number 36, and I need a 0 here to hold the place. All right, day 2. Write an expression for the calculation double 5 and then multiply by 3. Again, an expression is a math problem, no equal signs, and it doesn't ask us to solve, it just says write the expression. So double 5 means two groups of 5. Then we're going to multiply that by 3. Okay, let's move on. 21 divided by 7 times 4. This is in parentheses. I have to do that first. 7 times 3 is 21. 7, 14, 21. That's the skip count. Multiply that by 4, and I get 12. 232 times 4. I'm going to set that up into a standard algorithm. 4 times 2 is 8. 4 times 3 is 12, and regroup. 4 times 2 is 8, plus 1 more is 9. 928 is the product. 264 divided by 2. Again, I'm going to set that up into a standard algorithm. And I'm going to start with my hundreds place. 2 groups of 2. It takes 1 to do that. And 1 times 2 is 2. And I subtract with 0. I'm going to bring down my 6. So now I'm going to work with the 6. What times 2 is 6? 3. And 3 times 2 is 6. And I'm going to bring down my 4. 2 times 4 is 2. No remainder, nothing to bring down. My quotient is 132. All right, moving on to day 3. Day 3, 350 divided by 10 to the third power. So we did this in mission 1, and 10 to the third power is actually a 1 with 3 zeros. And we saw that when we take this number, we have a decimal point right there. And that this is actually moving the number down the place value chart 1, 2, 3 times. And when I do that, it's going to look like the decimal is moving 1, 2, 3 times. So my new number is 350 thousandths. What is the value of the 2 in 2,553? Again, value. Your video games have a value. That's how much money they are worth. So I need an actual number, not a place value. The 2 is in the thousandths. That is its place value. But a 2 in the thousandths has a value of 2,000. Round 248,739 to the nearest hundred. I like to rewrite my number again. Nearest hundred, I like to underline the number I'm rounding to. I'm going to look at the 3 next door. 5 or more, the 7 would become an 8. 4 or less, we leave it a 7. 3 is 4 or less, so we're going to leave it a 7. Everything in front of the 7 gets written exactly the same. We said we're going to leave that 7 alone, and everything behind it becomes a 0. 66 times 10. So here's our 66. Here's our decimal. Here we move the number this way on the place value chart. Here, when we multiply them, we're going to move it to the left. So it's going to look like the decimal moved. Really, it's the number moving. So my answer is 660. Day 4. Write less than, greater than, or equal to make the statement true. Again, I like to play my same or different game, and when numbers are this small, I'm going to use 2 pencils. I'm going to go to my biggest place value, that's tens, and I'm going to say same or different. They're the same, so I'm going to move over into my ones. Same or different? They're the same, so I'm going to move to my tenths. Same or different? They're the same, so I have to move on to my hundredths. They're different here. 5 is bigger. That makes the whole number bigger, and I read this as 10 and 5 hundredths is greater than 10 and 5 thousandths. Next, we're going to write 900,000 plus 80,000 plus 500 plus 7 in standard form. Well, our biggest number has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 digits. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 digits. So if writing numbers in standard form is a problem for you, it's a good trick. Go to your biggest number. That's how many numbers you have. A 9 in the hundred thousandths place. Here's a 0, an 8 in the 10,000ths place. I'm going to check to see. I don't have any thousands, so a 0 is going to go there. A 5 in the hundreds place. There's no 10, so there's another 0. And then a 7 in the ones place. And there's that number in standard form. Okay? The next one says start at 92. Create a pattern that adds 13 to each number. Stop after 5 numbers. So here's 92. we're going to add 13 to it. This is my first number. Then I'm going to add 13 to it. This is my second number. I'm going to add 13 to it. This is my third number. I'm going to come over here with my third number, and I'm going to add 13 to it. That makes my fourth number, and I'm going to add 13 to it. There's my fifth number, so this is where I'm going to stop. Emma spent $6.25 for spaghetti and meatballs, $1.12 for a bottle of water, and $3.75 for a piece of cake. How much money did Emma spend on her entire meal? I'm going to come off here to the white, and I'm going to write $6.25, $1.12, and $3.75. And I'm going to add those numbers together. See, I have my decimals all lined up. 5 plus 2 plus 5 is 12. Regroup that one. 1 plus 2 is 3. Plus 7 is 10. Plus 1 more is 11. And regroup. 6 plus 1 is 7. Plus 1 more is 10. Plus 1 more is 11. So she spent $11.12 on her entire dinner. So give that quiz a try, remembering that problems like this certainly are not going to be graded. If you need help, come back and watch the video.